We had a little skirmish, but it worked out well.
21时许，武汉体育中心主体育场第7届世界军人运动会隆重开幕。军运赛场高手云集，神枪手们率先登场，竞争激烈，向世人展示了各国军体健儿高超的射击水平。各路勇将劈波斩浪，当仁不让，争相打破了20余项赛会纪录，实现了军人荣耀与奥林匹克精神的完美契合。力拔千钧，快步如飞，田径赛场佳绩频传，更高、更快、更强，在军体健儿的巅峰对决中得到了充分的彰显。军事5项的角逐打破了一批世界纪录，把本届军运会的比赛推向了最高潮。捷报传来，各国选手拍手同庆，共享荣耀。体育传友谊，场上是对手，场下是朋友。比赛的金牌弥足珍贵，友谊的金牌地久天长。这是一个荣耀的舞台，更是一个和平的盛典。参赛的军人运动员用自己的拼搏精神、顽强作风、高超技艺，向和平致敬。创军人荣耀，祝世界和平。
More than 22 million Americans are currently unemployed as a result of this. Today we hit the grim milestone of more than 40,000 Americans now having died from the coronavirus. Can you explain then why you come out here and you are reading clips and showing clips of praise for you and for your administration? Is this really the time for self-congratulations?
Well, I will tell you this. What I'm doing is I'm standing up for the men and women that have done such an incredible job. Not for me, for the men and women, admirals, vice president, if I might, but all of the men and women, thousands, tens of thousands of them that built hospitals.
Ladies and gentlemen, now the entry of national flags of all participating missions.
女士们、先生们，欢迎第7届世界军人运动会各参赛国国旗入场。
in New York and New Jersey and all over this country in record time to throw up 1,000 beds in 4 days. I'm sticking up for those people. Those people have been incredible. I'm also sticking up for doctors and nurses and military doctors and nurses.
The clips that you played and what you read earlier was praising you and your administration.
All I played today was Governor Cuomo
to do that, sir.
saying very positive things about the job the federal government has done.
On this
And
day,
those
more than
people
40,000
and
Americans have now died.
those people have been just absolutely excoriated by some of the fake news, like you. You're CNN, you're fake news.
Now, please watch the video clips on the volunteers of the 7th Season Military World Games.
请观看第7届世界军人运动会志愿者服务视频。
And let me just tell you, they were excoriated by people like you that don't know any better because you don't have the brains you were born with. You should be praising the people that have done a good job.
Ladies and gentlemen, now Fair Play Award will be presented in order to honor good sportsmanship, fair play, and full dedication of the winner in recognition of the great contributions made to promoting the ideals and values of CISM.
Not doing what you do, even that question. So just so you understand, if we didn't do a
The question is
job,
why now? Not why are you doing
I'll tell
it,
you
but
why now. Are you ready?
Now let's welcome Colonel Dora Mambi Guaitan, Secretary General of the International Military Sports Council, to present the award to Colonel Bertrand Gebert, Chief of French Delegation.
女士们、先生们，有请国际军事体育理事会秘书长多拉曼比科伊塔上校为法国军事体育代表团团长贝特朗热巴赫上校颁奖。
Because these people are right now in hospitals. It's dangerous. It's going to a battlefield. And I want these people, I want you in the presidency. It's all about that. It's not about me. No, nothing's about me. Look, you're never going to treat me fairly, many of you. And I understand that. I don't even know. I got here with the worst, most unfair press treatment, they say, in the history of the United States for a president. For a president. They did say Abraham Lincoln had very bad treatment, too. Let me just tell you.
Has your name in it. It talks about Trump remaking the playbook.
Well, that's a positive thing because that's an exercise in how to do it and what to do. And that's good for the future. People can learn from that. But I want the men and women of this country can learn from that. But I want the men and women of this country that are in danger, the admirals and the generals that have done dangerous war. We're also at a level when you said 40,000 people, and you're right. We're in war. We're in war. You know, I call it the invisible enemy. That's a war, and it's a dangerous war. We're also at a level when you said 40,000 people, and you're right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the closing ceremony of the 7th CISM Military World Games. Good night.
女士们、先生们，第7届世界军人运动会闭幕式到此结束，晚安。
Good. Well, I'm really glad you corrected me, CNN. But here's the story. Let me just tell you something. If we didn't do what we did, the 40,000 right now could be 1 million people. Could be 1 million people, not 40,000. It could be 1 million. We're tracking at much less than the lowest possible estimate. And that's a great tribute to a number of people and a number of things. One of the things that it's a tribute to is what's taken place in this country with the American people. Because they've gone inside, they've done it. They've done a job that nobody thought was possible. And in fact, when they did the models, as they call them, nobody thought it was possible. They did models not based on this kind of success. I've seen New York streets, and I see it in the morning. I've watched all my life New York streets. and you can't even see the pavement. There's so many people. And you take a look this morning, you take a look, even on Friday morning, I looked at it, I saw it through a camera. There wasn't a person on Fifth Avenue, there wasn't a person on Madison Avenue. I've never seen anything like it, because people have really listened to instructions, and they've listened to what we've had to say, and the professionals, they've listened. And those people should really give them a lot of credit, including people like you. Almost 40,000 people. And what, oh, more than, okay, good, correct me.
41,000.
时许，武汉体育中心主体育场第7届世界军人运动会隆重开幕。军运赛场高手云集，神枪手们率先登场，竞争激烈，向世人展示了各国军体健儿高超的射击水平。各路勇将劈波斩浪，当仁不让，争相打破了20余项赛会纪录，实现了军人荣耀与奥林匹克精神的完美契合。力拔千钧，快步如飞，田径赛场佳绩频传，更高、更快、更强，在军体健儿的巅峰对决中得到了充分的彰显。军事5项的角逐打破了一批世界纪录，把本届军运会的比赛推向了最高潮。捷报传来，各国选手拍手同庆，共享荣耀。体育传友谊，场上是对手，场下是朋友。比赛的金牌弥足珍贵，友谊的金牌地久天长。这是一个荣耀的舞台，更是一个和平的盛典。参赛的军人运动员用自己的拼搏精神、顽强作风、高超技艺，向和平致敬。创军人荣耀，祝世界和平。
Healthcare providers use an estimated 25 million N95 masks nationwide in a typical year. So a typical year, 25 million. That means we've secured nearly 4 times as many N95 masks in recent weeks as we would in entire healthcare industry during a typical year. Over a matter of couple of weeks, we had more masks than we would do in a year. Think of that, over a couple of weeks. Moreover, we're bringing supply chains back home, and we've learned a lot about supply chains. We've learned that it's nice to make things in the U.S. I've been saying that for a long time. One of the reasons I ran for office, because we started making things everywhere but here. And if one thing comes out of this, more than anything else, it's that we should make product in the United States. And these supply chains, they sound wonderful. But if one country has a problem, the whole chain is ruined, and I've been saying it for a long time. I ran partially on that. I ran on that, and I ran very strongly against China. And then we made a great trade deal where they buy $250 billion. They're supposed to. And they're paying tariffs. They paid us tens of billions of dollars. I've given $12 billion one year, $16 billion another year, and $19 billion to our farmers and ranchers who were targeted. But, I ran on China and other countries the way they were ripping us off. They were ripping off our country. And China understood that. I mean, China fully understood that. And they're big, strong, smart people. And I wasn't friendly, and it wasn't a friendly situation. And we ended up making an incredible deal with China for tens of billions of dollars of product, $40 to $50 billion to the farmers. The most they ever spent was 15 to 16. Now they're supposed to spend 40 to 50. Now, of course, the virus came along, and I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I let them know I'm not happy. So, you know, we had a great relationship we had a very bad relationship with China. Then we had a good relationship because we made a great deal. But we're not happy. This is not a good thing that happened. Came out of China, so we're not in a position where we're going to say much yet. But the deal itself is great. The deal is it's going to put many, many people to work in our country, but all of that has to be taken into account when you look at all of the people that are dying in our country, but all over the world. All over the world, people are dying. I had a G7 call, and their economies are in tatters. They're shattered. The G7 countries, you have Japan and Germany and France, the different countries, Italy. Look at what happened to Italy. Look at what happened to these countries. Look at what happened to Spain. Look what happened to Spain, how incredible. It's just been shattered. And so many other countries are shattered. So nobody ever thought this could have happened, a thing like this. It's very, very sad. But if we've learned something, it's about supply chains. I just saw yesterday where when the auto industry gets back, they have a problem because there's a supply chain going through a different country. And this has been going on for years, for decades. I always said it was no good. Why do we make it? Why do you need a supply chain? Very simple, make your parts here. They get one part from this country, one part from that country. It's all over the place. The problem is if one country has a problem, you have no car or whatever it is you're making. So we've learned a good lesson. I think a lot of smart people knew that before. But we've distributed many hundreds of millions of masks. This pandemic has underscored the vital importance of reshoring our supply chains and bringing them back into the United States where they belong, where they should have never left. What happens if you're in a war and you have a supply chain where half of your supplies are given to you by other countries? Who are the people that thought of this? These are globalists. It doesn't work. It certainly doesn't work during rough times, bad times, or dangerous times. So we're going to continue to fight the virus. We're talking to China. We spoke to them a long time ago about going in. We want to go in. We want to see what's going on. And we weren't exactly invited, I can tell you that. If you look at some of the investigations that are going on in terms of World Health Organization, and I'll take it a step further. World Trade Organization, too. World Trade. We did years ago, many years ago, the World Trade Organization, from the day China came in, that's when China bloomed. They were mainlining it, and then boom, they were up like a rocket ship because they took advantage of every little ridiculous clause in the World Trade Organization documents. They were a developing nation. China was a developing nation. They make the cars, they make the plant, they make everything. And they're a developing nation. So we've had I might have gotten elected to a certain extent because of China and other countries. One of my big things was trade. The United States is getting ripped off in trade. Now Japan is paying $40 billion and buying a lot. That's before we even do the deal. U.S.-Mexico was a great deal. The NAFTA was one of the worst deals ever made in trade history. And I would also put the World Trade Organization in that same group. So I was very tough on these countries. With China, we made the deal, and we became friendly. But then this happened, and this is tantamount. This is something that's really incredible. I do want to read something that I just saw today on television. I was looking, and I just said, that's an interesting statement. We talk about the Democrats, and it was a statement made by Bret Baier, good guy, smart. On February 19th, there was a Democratic debate in Las Vegas. That was February 19th. That's way after I closed entrance from China into our country. So Bret goes, on February 19th, there was a Democratic debate in Las Vegas. 3 words weren't said during the debate: virus, coronavirus, or COVID-19. Those 3 words never came up. That was, I just thought it was a very interesting, because you hear these people, some of the people, the Democrats, said, oh, this, that. It never even was a part of their dialogue. Now they bring it up because you see what happened, so now, but they didn't bring it up. But I brought it up. I brought it up a long time before I made the trade deal, and I was not easy to deal with. I was not easy to deal with. They understand that. We still have 25% on $250 billion that they have to pay us. And it's a lot of money. We've taken in a lot of money, and we've had a lot of beneficiaries, including our farmers and ranchers. So in addition, we've launched an unprecedented effort to develop new treatments and therapies to battle the plague. Therapies to me are the most exciting. The vaccines are obviously so important, but the therapies are immediate. We have some things that are really looking good. and they're doing a lot of work right now on masks and other things. This production is in addition to the 55 million N95 masks my administration has already distributed. Plus we ordered, and it's coming in soon, 500 million masks. You would think, what are you going to do with them? They get used rapidly. In addition to that, as you know, we sterilize masks now. Great company in Ohio, recommended by the governor of Ohio strongly. And it's doing very well. And they're sterilizing. A lot of the masks can be sterilized up to 20 times. So that's like buying 20 masks. And I always wondered, why aren't they sterilizing these masks? Some of them are pretty sophisticated masks. And some you can't because of the material. Others you can. But we have actually two companies that do this, but one company I know very well in Ohio, and they're doing a great job. So they're sterilizing masks up to 20 times you can sterilize a certain type of mask. To these numbers in perspective, and to put them into perspective, America.
Ladies and gentlemen, now Fair Play Award will be presented in order to honor good sportsmanship, fair play, and full dedication of the winner in recognition of the great contributions made to promoting the ideals and values of CISM.
现在颁发第7届世界军人运动会公平竞赛奖，以表彰获奖代表团崇高的体育精神、公平竞赛风范和奉献精神，表彰他们为弘扬国际军事体育理事会理念和价值观做出的突出贡献。
Now let's welcome Colonel Dora Mambi-Quaita, Secretary General of the International Military Sports Council, to present the award to Colonel Bertrand Gebert, Chief of French Delegation.
女士们、先生们，有请国际军事体育理事会秘书长多拉曼比科伊塔上校为法国军事体育代表团团长贝特朗热巴赫上校颁奖。
Really looking good. We call COVID treatment acceleration program. We're accelerating all of these great companies that are looking, and we have government agencies looking too, NIH. This extraordinary program is slashing red tape to speed and development anti-rival and if you. I appreciate that that's what Governor Cuomo said, but they've done a phenomenal, these people have done a phenomenal job. As far as protesters, you know, I see protesters for all sorts of things, and I'm with everybody. I'm with everybody. Please, in the back, go ahead. In the back, go ahead. You ready? Yeah. In the back. Go ahead. You ready? Yeah.
Yes, please. Thank you, Mr. President. Jen Pellegrino with OAN. Yesterday, you pointed out that Iran was likely not truthful in the reporting of the virus. Meanwhile, Senator Dianne Feinstein and other Democrats are looking for $5 billion in aid to Iran. Are you considering giving any aid to Iran?
If Iran needed aid on this, I would be willing to do something if they want it, if they ask for it. I would be certainly willing. They were hit very hard. Obviously, those numbers weren't correct numbers that they reported. But if they needed help, if they needed aid, if they needed ventilators, we have thousands of ventilators currently on hand, and ventilators under construction, that are under construction. That's a mosquito. I don't like mosquitoes. I don't like mosquitoes at all. smart and make a deal. It's only because of, you look at what happened. It's John Kerry, I guess, just doesn't want them to make a deal. And they're probably figuring they can wait. And maybe it will be Biden, and they'll own America if Biden gets. And they know with me, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. If Joe Biden got in, they'd own America. Between them, China, Japan, Mexico, Canada, they'd own America. You wouldn't have a country left.
大桥底下水飘。
Okay.
Mr. President, you had called on me.
Yes,
Thank
I
you,
did.
I appreciate it. Since you shared with us something else that you saw on TV today, I have a question about something you said on Thursday, which is that you were angry because information about the virus should have been told to us earlier and a lot sooner. People knew it was happening, and people did not want to talk about it. Many Americans are saying the exact same thing about you, that you should have warned them the virus was spreading like wildfire through the month of February instead of holding rallies with thousands of people. Why did you wait so long
Who are you
to
with?
warn them?
Who are you with?
And why did you
Yeah.
not have social distancing until March 16th?
Who are you with?
I'm Weijia Jiang with CBS News.
So, if you look at what I did in terms of cutting off or banning China from coming in,
Chinese nationals. But by the way, not Americans who are also
nice and
coming
easy,
from China.
nice and easy, just relax. We cut it off. People were amazed. These gentlemen, everybody was amazed that I did it. We had 21 people in a room. Everybody was against it but me. Dr. Fauci said, had I not done that, perhaps tens of thousands, and maybe much more than that, people would have died. I was very early, very, very early. And we just saw, you saw Brett Baer making a statement. They had a debate well into February and not even mentioned, it wasn't even mentioned, the Democrats. We were very early. Oh, I'm the president. And you know what I just did? And you know what I just...
And by the way, when you issued the ban, the virus was already here.
Okay, and you know how many people, when I issued the ban, how many cases of virus were in the United States when I issued the ban? Do you know the number? No, how many cases? Remember I said one person. How many cases were here when I issued the ban?
But did you know
No,
it was going
you have to do
spread
your
and
research.
become a pandemic?
How many...
I did my research. On the 23rd of March, you said you knew this was going to be a pandemic.
Can I tell you what?
well
I did
before
know it. I did know it. All I have to do is look.
So you knew it was going to
Anybody
spread.
knew it. Just, are you ready? How many cases were in the United States when I did my ban? How many people had died in the United States?
So do you acknowledge that you didn't think
Keep
it
your
was
voice
going
down,
to
please.
spread?
Keep your voice down.
Did you not
How
think it
many?
was going
How
to
many?
spread?
How many cases were in the United States? I did a ban where I'm closing up the entire country. How many people died?
And that's a fair point.
How many people died in the United States? And yet I closed up the country, and I believe there were no deaths, 0 deaths at the time I closed up the country. Nobody was there. And you should say thank you very much for good judgment. Go ahead, please.
飘飘，才能穿上碧玉箫，莫见此泪，将菜刀，细落溪谷只管桥。木阁楼层层高，雕龙画凤好花苗。白纸扇手里摇，手扶栏杆往下瞧。木阁楼层层高，雕龙画凤好花苗。白纸扇手里摇，手扶栏杆往下瞧，往下瞧。大桥底下水飘飘，才连船上碧玉箫，莫见此泪，将菜刀，细落溪谷只管桥。木阁楼层层高，雕龙画凤好花苗。白纸扇手里摇，手扶栏杆往下瞧。木阁楼层层高，雕龙画凤好花苗。白纸扇手里摇，手扶栏杆往下瞧。木
The FBI said he didn't lie. And Mueller's people wanted him to go to jail. Okay? So what am I going to do? You'll find out what I'm going to do. I'm not going to say what I'm going to do. But I will tell you, the whole thing turned out to be a scam. And it turned out to be a disgrace to our country. And it was a takedown of a duly elected president. And these people suffered greatly. General Flynn, I mean, what they did to him. And even the FBI said, and they had some, and nobody bigger fan of the FBI than me at the level of the people that really matter. But the top of the FBI was scum. And what they did to General Flynn, and you know it, and everybody knows it, was a disgrace. He was in the service for over 30 years. He ends up being a general and respected. Respected. And almost his first day in office, they come in with papers. They want to investigate him. Never happened before. And now the tables are turned. Investigate the investigators, I guess. These were crooked people. These are bad people. These are very dangerous people. You know what they are, though? They're scum. They're human scum. All right, do you want to have one in the...
Et plus que certainement la plus grande réussite de nos Jeux. Le sisme, c'est vous. Le sisme, c'est nous tous. Merci à vous. Merci aux quelques 900 représentants des 109 pays qui ont participé à ces Jeux. Tout cela n'a pu être possible que grâce au travail acharné des membres du SUMOC, de nos comités sportifs et des membres du secrétariat général du CISM. Je tiens donc à les remercier. Merci à tous les membres du SUMOC, avec un remerciement affectueux, tout particulièrement à tous les nombreux volontaires qui nous ont accueillis avec sourire et bienveillance et qui nous ont rendu la vie encore plus belle ici à Wuhan. Merci à nos amis du SUMOC et de la ville de Wuhan pour avoir incarné les valeurs de fair play et préparé des écrins sportifs de niveau mondial ayant permis à nos athlètes d'atteindre la perfection. Merci.
Back, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. The CDC has finally admitted to profound failures with testing kits from the beginning of the outbreak. Is this a function of lax oversight from the Obama-Biden administration?
Well, it's not from me. I mean, they came in and they had some problems early on, but we've straightened it out. But yeah, look, I told you we inherited a lot of garbage. We took, they had tests that were no good. They had, all the stuff was no good. It came from somewhere, so whoever came up with it. But I'm proud to tell you that now we went from having a lot of bad things happening in CDC to having great things happening.
Ladies and gentlemen, now please watch the live broadcast of the holy flame of the 7th Season Military World Games being extinguished.
女士们、先生们，现场视频直播，熄灭第7届世界军人运动会圣火。
They're doing a very good job now. But no, initially, look, our stockpiles were empty. We had horrible stockpiles. We had horrible ventilators. We had very few of them, too. And so did the states have very few of them. But all of these things are now we're at a level that we've never been. Same with our military. Our military is the strongest it's ever been. We spent $1.5 trillion on our military. We've totally rebuilt our military. It's never been in a position. And we even have Space Force. Mike and I were talking about what an achievement that is. First time in 72 years we have a new force. So, yeah, CDC had obsolete tests, old tests, broken tests, and a mess. But they've done a very good job. And they've done it under pressure. The pressure is, you know, they had to do this under pressure. So we're very proud of the job they've done. Please, go ahead.
Mr. President, you said swabs are easy, and this has been something that hospitals and states have been saying there are shortages for more than a month now. Why wait to use the Defense Production Act until now?
Well, we already have millions coming in. We have one company that we're forced to use it with, and probably by tomorrow we won't be. You know, it's a tremendous hammer. Probably by tomorrow it won't be, but we have millions of them coming in. They're very easy by comparison. And in all fairness, governors could get them themselves. They really could. All of this, but we're going to do it. We're going to work with the governors, and if they can't do it, we're going to do it. If they do it, we can do it maybe cheaper, better. We're going to get we're getting very high quality. With us, it's all quality too. Even if it takes a little bit longer, we want the highest quality in all of it, including the ventilators. So, yeah, we have millions of them coming in very soon, and many of them already have been ordered, and the governors don't know quite where they are, but they'll be finding them fairly soon.
Mr. President,
Mr. President,
Go ahead.
on President Xi, you now talk about the missteps that China made early on in this crisis and how it put the United States
Well,
behind
based
the
on
curve.
an investigation, we're going to find out. Yeah,
So,
sure.
so when you repeatedly praised Xi in January and February,
Well, this guy doesn't
you
stop.
said he will solve the problem. You said he was doing a great job. Were you duped by President Xi?
No. I made a deal that's phenomenal for the United States. No, you know who was duped? You and the Obama administration were duped for years because China was ripping off this country like in the history of any country. Nobody's been ripped off like the United States by China and many other countries, and we stop it. And we've done a deal where they're paying us $250. They are buying $250. They didn't do anything for us. You know, we didn't even have a deal. It was so bad.
After the deal. These comments are after the deal.
No. It is about a deal, because the deal started a long time ago before anybody heard about this. The deal was finished a number of months ago. Very happy. I was very happy. I hope they were happy. Billions of dollars came in tariffs. Billions of dollars. They're going to be purchasing billions. And then all of a sudden, long after that, I find out about this. And I told you, I'm not. Listen, CNN. Listen, CNN. I told you I'm not happy about it. And this was after the deal. So we have this wonderful deal. And I was nobody's been tougher before the deal ever on China than Trump. Then I made a deal. I was very happy with the deal. It's a great deal, great for our farmers. The farmers have been paid a fortune already. Then what happened? No mistake, we made a great deal. Now I find out after the deal, I find out that I'm not happy. You people are so pathetic at CNN. Let me just tell you.
23rd.
Sure. I was very happy with the deal, very happy with everything. Then we find out about the plague, right? The plague. And since we found out about that, I'm not happy. But I closed it up long before Pelosi. Listen, long before Pelosi, you know, she was having parties in San Francisco. Let's all go to Chinatown. And that was a long time after I closed up the country.
Sir, this is
Go ahead, please.
Mr. President, on President Xi, you now talk about the missteps that China made early on in this crisis and how it put the United States
Well,
behind
based
the
on
curve.
an investigation, we're going to find out. Yeah,
So,
sure.
so when you repeatedly praised Xi in January and February,
Well, this guy doesn't
you
stop.
said he will solve the problem. You said he was doing a great job. Were you duped by President Xi?
No. I made a deal that's phenomenal for the United States. No, you know who was duped? You and the Obama administration were duped. Duped for years because China was ripping off this country like in the history of any country. Nobody's been ripped off like the United States by China and many other countries. And we stop it. And
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end.
We've done a deal where they're paying us $250. They are buying $250. They didn't do anything for us. You know, we didn't even have a deal. It was so bad.
The deal. These comments are after the deal.
No. It is about a deal, because the deal started a long time ago before anybody heard about this. The deal was finished a number of months ago. Very happy. I was very happy. I hope they were happy. Billions of dollars came in tariffs. Billions of dollars. They're going to be purchasing billions. And then all of a sudden, long after that, I find out about this. And I told you, I'm not, listen, CNN, listen, CNN. I told you I'm not happy about it. And this was after the deal. So we have this wonderful deal. And I was nobody's been tougher before the deal ever on China than Trump. Then I made a deal. I was very happy with the deal. It's a great deal, great for our farmers. The farmers have been paid a fortune already. Then what happened? No mistake, we made a great deal. Now I find out after the deal, after the deal, I find out that I'm not happy. You people are so pathetic at CNN. Let me just tell you.
23rd.
Sure. I was very happy with the deal, very happy with everything. Then we find out about the plague, right? The plague. And since we found out about that, I'm not happy. But I closed it up long before Pelosi. Listen, long before Pelosi, you know, she was having parties in San Francisco. Let's all go to Chinatown. And that was a long time after I closed up the country. Go ahead, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the closing ceremony of the 7th CISM Military World Games. Good night.
女士们、先生们，第7届世界军人运动会闭幕式到此结束，晚安。